Good afternoon. This is October the 14th. Oh, my daughter's birthday, 2022. I'm here with a gentleman called Aron Bashir, and he is running for Congress. Before we get there, this is a small business union. My name is Fernando Suarez, and I'm the chairman of the board of the union, which is 1,000 businesses working together as one. We have 3 conversations. The conversation number 1 is unity, getting people unified for many different reasons, specifically for the power that unity brings. The second conversation is business and financial education. Most business owners do not have access to that, and we want to bring that to the table. And the third conversation is leadership, empowering people that are already leaders to come out and become the leaders that they are already. And through that, and that's the reason why Aron Bashir is here, we are educating these leaders, these business owners, to become leaders, to help change the city, change the state, change the country, and that is the Small Business Union. Welcome, Aron.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy you're here. We've crossed paths several times, and finally today we're together. Before we get started, you are running for Congress, and most of my listeners are not political. Most of my listeners are business owners, and they don't know what Congress means. I mean, they have from other countries. They're very political in other countries, but what does a congressman do here in the United States?
Well, before I answer that, first again, I wanted to thank you and all of your board members, and especially Ms. Jillian for giving me this opportunity to be here. So when you said that most of your clients are not political, trust me, since 2016, I was never a politician as well. So, but after Trump ran, and then how the things changed, how country was doing well, and before Trump, how the things were really messy, and that's what made me think, what's happening in the country. So Trump did great job in 2016, and that's what inspired me, that he did wonderful, economy was doing great, businesses were thriving, unemployment was at the lowest levels, and I started to get more and more engaged. And then especially when I see city of Philadelphia going down, a lot of crimes, people are dying on the streets, and especially the Kensington area, illegal drugs are all the way infiltrating. Innocent people are dying. So why these guys who are in charge of the city, why these guys who are running the city council, the mayor, why don't they do something about it? They have more than $1 billion budget.
We never used to think about that.
Yeah, so then that made me question the things around me. Why the things are not changing? If people are really serious to change the things, they should be changing. So slowly, gradually, I started to get engaged. So that's how I started to learn more about the systems, and I figured, these people are not doing their job. And that's why I realized that, either as a Christian, I can sit down and keep complaining and just keep praying, or I can just take an action like how the disciples of Jesus Christ did. They just didn't pray.
My father taught me, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. That's what we've been taught. Well, at least around where I've lived.
That's what I was taught too. But as I grew up, and I grew up more in understanding, as a Christian, we are the light of the world.
Oh boy.
Right?
Yes.
So Jesus said, you are the light of the world. And when we are not spreading our light, and that light is light of hopeness, kindness, forgiveness, peace, joy, and reconciliation. So when we are not spreading that, then the evil is going to spread the hatred, violence, division, crimes, So that's why I learned that, as Christians, I cannot stay silent. I cannot just complain, because God has sent us as ambassadors to this world, because we ought to spread the light in the darkness of the world, and that's why I'm running for Congress.
Wow, you're selling me in the first 3 minutes. Oh my God, it's exactly what I'm about. And you're talking about the light, and this is why this program is called the Business Truth Channel, because all we're showing is the light about business. And right now, business is being tremendously affected by politics, by government. And this we're on the same page here. This is really, really nice. But before we continue, I really want to get this educational piece. What is a congressman?
Well, congressman makes the laws on the federal level. So they make public policies that affect everyone's lives. For example, when the House passes a bill, it goes to Senate, then it goes to approval for President for reconsideration. So if Congress doesn't send the right bills, if they don't pass the right laws, then average person's lives do get affected. For example, look at the gas prices now, right?
Yes.
If Congress could, pass a bill for more energy independence, for more energy creation, then we won't have to pay the higher gas prices. What happened is President Biden, unfortunately, on his first day of presidency, he canceled that XL pipeline.
But he promised he wouldn't do that.
But he did.
Oh my God.
Because that's why I'm saying, those were my frustrations, that people who are running the country, why are they not serious about it? Because they got to be sensitive to the needs of people. And I realize when I see people dying in Philadelphia every day someone is getting shot, every day someone is getting injured, and then illegal drugs are not being taken away from the streets. I was like, they got more than $1 billion budget. Why are they not serious to fix the issues? Because what I believe, if there is a will, if there is determination, there is always a way. But that means that they don't have a will, they don't have a determination to fix these problems.
Yeah.
And that's why I am running, so I could make a positive difference in this city and in our country.
You're here to awaken people that have been asleep.
Absolutely. And what I wanted to say is a lot of Christians are deceived, and they are naive. They are deceived by this far radical left, that it's none of your business. Stay away from politics. Let us run the show.
Yeah.
And just look at what they are running, right? They took the Bible and prayer from the schools.
Amazing.
All right.
1963.
Right.
The Bible disappeared. I never noticed that.
Yeah.
And I went to some of those rallies, and they were actually singing the national anthem. I'm like, when is the last time I heard the national anthem other than a soccer game or football game? What is the last time that we pledge allegiance?
Right.
I'm like, I brought tears to my eyes when I saw people facing the flag and saying, "This is who we are. We're pledging allegiance to this flag, to the republic."
Absolutely.
I haven't since, I don't know, it might have been third or fourth grade,
Right.
and we never noticed it.
Absolutely right. You're right. They come slowly and gradually. They take away what's ours. All right?
Lately, they've been taking away statues.
Right.
I'm like, why would they take a statue away? And then I started doing research. And it's because they're erasing history.
That's right. They are trying to divide our nation on the issues of race and color. They are turning Americans against each other. And this is not the truth.
Amazing.
We are one family as Americans. Now, I'm not saying we are a perfect country, but we are the best country in the world. And I'm proud to be here. I'm grateful to be here. And I'm proud to call myself an American.
Beautiful.
I was an immigrant as well.
I want to stick back. I'm sorry. I have a mission to teach our community leadership, and part of that leadership is politics. A congressman works at the federal level, okay? And they sit down and they meet. How often do they meet?
Well, there could be different sessions. They meet on regular basis, all right? But when there are special sessions that they need, they also conduct that. However, they have their regular sessions on monthly basis, weekly basis, as they see according to the bylaws which is out there. All right. So now the problem, what I see here is that Congress is not doing its job, especially my opponent, the incumbent Brandon Boyle. He is not serious in fixing the issues, because right now
the issues you say come from the bylaws, meaning the Constitution?
No. Constitution is very clear.
Okay.
And that's why what we were talking about earlier, that people do not want to recite the national anthem, Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes.
They are also trying to attack the Constitution, because to liberals, to these far radical leftists, if they don't agree with something, they think it's an optional for them. They like the parts of Constitution which support their narrative, but the things that they do not like, for example, they do not support the Second Amendment, right to bear arms. That means that we cannot defend ourselves, especially the city of Philadelphia where we live, where there's chaos happening on the streets. the peaceful citizens even cannot defend themselves because these liberals wanted to take away their right to defend themselves. So they are twisting, they are manipulating the things the way they see appropriate. So getting back to your question, Congress meets on their periodical sessions. They also do special sessions when urgent needs arise. They pass the laws and then they make the public policies, and then they also control the funding, the taxpayers' dollars. That's, every year IRS collects. They pass the budget on that. That means now they do the appropriations, they do the allocations, where the funds should go. And if those appropriations and budgeting is not done right, that means now the people who really need those resources, they are not getting what they are supposed to get.
Very good. How large is the district of the Congress that you're going to run?
Well, the district that I'm running in, I have like almost 450,000 registered voters. So population-wise, they're like around 800,000 people. So it's all Northeast Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, and River Wards and east side of Broad Street, all the way up to the South Philadelphia on the east side of Broad.
Basically, all of Philadelphia east of Broad.
That's right.
Half of Philadelphia.
Almost, yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there's something going on that's wrong, when do we call you? What are the departments that we would call you versus a state representative versus a mayor versus a councilman?
Well, I feel like I'm a representative of people once I'm elected. So I believe in the servant leadership that comes from Jesus Christ, that you got to serve people, not rule over them like a dictator. And that's what I learned from Jesus Christ, because he served people. He was the King of Kings, but he gave his life for people.
Yes.
So people could be redeemed, they could be saved. And I believe as a representative of people, you can call me anytime when you want. And I want it to be accessible, and that's why I'm using my personal cell in my campaign, throughout my campaign. I want people to talk to me, and I'm very open to discussions, and I'm very open to hear the other side as well. Because, I'm not a liberal, I'm not that far radical leftist who will start yelling and screaming at you and who will portray you as a villain because you don't agree with me.
Yes.
Because America is all about, freedom. You can agree to disagree. That's what we should be, right? Freedom of speech. But for last few decades, these far radical left, they are not the typical Democrats anymore. They have lost their mind. They wanted to fight with you. They wanted to bring you down. They wanted to just attack you.
Yeah, in 2016, there was a lot of people that hit a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of Democrats literally physically hitting Republicans.
Right.
I was amazed. I was like, am I in this country? It's unbelievable. Now, from your appearance, it appears that you weren't born here. Where were you born?
I was born in Pakistan, and I migrated to the United States of America in 2001.
Oh, that's wonderful. There's a lot of Pakistanis that come to this office and get services here. There's a lot of immigrants in the city of Philadelphia. So
Yes.
you have a friendly face, and you're very approachable.
Thank you, Mr. Fernando.
Yeah.
Well, America is about immigration. It's the land of immigrants, and I'm all open to immigration. However, I do believe that there should be check and balance. There should be a system. We should not allow the illegal immigration to happen, because it's just like your home. Only certain number of people can stay at your home. If you let 200 people in a small row house, what's gonna to happen? It's gonna be chaos. And we have a few incidences when there were like a lot of people are living in a house, the house got burned up. You remember that in Philadelphia that happened a few
Yes.
times. So this country is like also our home. We have to secure it, we have to protect it, but you have to have security clearance. You have to go through the backgrounds before you let people in, because there are a lot of countries in this world, and there's a lot of radicalism, there's a lot of extremism, who their ideology do not match and align up with American ideology. So they hate America. There are civilizations, there are countries, they just cannot bear with our ideology of freedom of religion, freedom of speech. So, and they have threatened, for example, ISIS, they have threatened us before.
Yes.
That they are going to send their people to attack the Americans. So why would be so naive that let the borders be open and let them just walk in our country?
Yeah, the threat is real. It's not
threat
like
is real.
like you see it on CNN and somewhere else. No, the threat is you can see it, and through small businesses, we suffer. We actually have to close our doors sometimes because there's too much crime. And during the pandemic, we suffer a lot
That's right.
because of these threats and these illegal people coming in and taking over our businesses. I have situations where there's a lot of people coming in, opening up cigarettes. They're selling cigarettes without a license,
Right.
and the store owners call me and they say, what are we going to do about these these sales? They're illegal. They're selling right in front of my business. I have to pay taxes. I have to get a license. I have to do everything, pay insurance. And these people are selling. And those kind of things are not happening in Philadelphia right now. It's rampant.
You're absolutely right. Philadelphia has turned into a lawless society right now,
Yes.
especially with our DA Larry Krasner, who is so soft on crimes. He doesn't prosecute the way he should. And then, unfortunately, our judicial system is giving a lot of breaks to these, habitual convicts. So, those people who have tendency to hurt people, who are like have prior records, and when they are committing something, there must be high bills, there must be accountability.
Yes.
They must not be put back on the streets. So they could, take the innocent lives and they could hurt people.
So the people listening today, this program is sponsored by the Small Business Union. You can use some more water there.
I got it.
It's being sponsored by the Small Business Union. And the Small Business Union is a bipartisan group of an association of 1,000 businesses. It's not that we're red or we're blue. No, we're about small businesses.
Absolutely.
So being about small businesses, how when you get into your Congress position, how are you going to be able to help small businesses?
Well, thank you, Fernando, what you said. That it's not about being red or blue. It's about being American. It's about using common sense. And that's what I tell everyone. At the end of the day, it's not about if you're a Democrat or a Republican. We are all Americans. We are trying to raise our families. We are trying to pay our bills. And we are just trying to have a peaceful life. But that's what is stolen right now from people. People are unable to run their businesses, as you just mentioned, because of open borders, because of law and order situation. No one is safe on Philadelphia anymore. People are getting shot every day.
Just at the last rally that we attended, there was a guy in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He got shot 6 times.
Wow.
And in last month, they released him from prison. He was serving a lifetime in prison, and they released him. There was 6 other business owners that died in the last couple years, and they released the people who killed these people out into the streets. This is amazing.
I had a couple of conversations with police officers, and last night actually I was in a civics meeting, and we spoke to the police officer. And what I understood from him, and it was a great hope. He said, when they tell you that they cannot control the crimes in city, they are big cities, that's how they get run, that's how it should be. He said they are lying to you, and these are the words of police officer. He said he took over a couple divisions and he reduced the crime by 70 to 80%.
Yes.
With the corrective measures that need to be taken. And one of his recommendations was that you got to prosecute the crimes, you got to go tough on crimes, and you got to hold people accountable, and you got to have foot patrol on the streets. There got to be heavy presence of police in the city, so in that way people know that what there is law and order, and if something happens, they're going to be held accountable.
So you are in favor of defunding the police or no?
Well, I am not in the favor of defunding police. No common sense person would ever be in the favor of defunding the police, especially in the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So people are already dying. Police department is already understaffed. And above all, they are not getting the respect that they deserve. So right now, the way things are in Philadelphia, so let me give you a little bit picture, right? More than 562 murders in 2022, just in 1 year. This year, there are 426 murders in last 10 months. And the year is not even closed.
Yes.
But every day, 2-3 people are dying on the streets, right? So a person will be fooled to defund the police in these circumstances, right? And now the other thing that they always make some issues, the issues of color and racism, right? We have to think above that lines. At the end of the day, it's not about white, black, brown. I'm also a minority, but it's all about being good people and being bad people. If you break the law, you are going to go to jail. You're going to be held accountable. It doesn't matter whether you're a white person, whether you're a black person or a brown person.
What kind of power do you have at the position of Congress to do something about
Well,
that?
I will have a lot of power and influence, and especially also with funding, I would be able to have a lot of control and check and balances where I could negotiate and communicate with the leadership, local leadership, the mayor and the city council, that I wanted to see certain things corrected. I wanted to see certain improvements before I make my provision for federal funding. So that will be one of my things that I'll be pushing harder on. And the second thing I want to really focus on is schools. Schools need to be fixed. Our kids are lost. These teenagers who are just fighting on the streets, killing people even with the traffic cone. They don't have the respect for life. They don't have the respect for even themselves, because they are not taught, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt honor your father and mother. And it all starts with your family. When you respect your father and mother, you respect your neighbors, you respect all the adults around you, you respect the society. And I'm all open to that we must teach those values at the schools, universal human values.
I hear strong values from you, Aron. Are you married? Do you have children?
Yes, I am married. I have 3 children, and I am, proud to be a dad and a good husband.
Very
I
good.
try to be a good husband.
Very good. If anyone has any questions, please jot the questions down into the bottom wherever you're at. If you see this through Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, ask the questions. I'll make sure that they get answered. Know that Aron reached out to us, like all candidates. We've had Republicans, we've had Democrats, all different types of people on the Small Business Union, and we're here to listen and we're here to learn about what it is to vote. What is the day that we need to vote for you?
Well, November the 8th this year. How are people who are voting by mail-in ballot? I encourage and urge them to please vote for me as well if they already have ordered their mail-in ballot. And I encourage that they vote for me, they vote for all the Republican candidates, because this country needs a change of leadership right away. Because
one thing is voting Republican, another thing is doing your duty as to finding out who is who.
yes.
Like I had a phone call this morning. They called me on WhatsApp. Fernando, who should I vote for here? I go, well, I can tell you personally, with a Small Business Union, and he was at the last rally, and I told him why. But it was more of an educational piece, and this is what the Small Business Union is about. This is what the Business Truth Channel is about. Voting red is one thing, but let's figure out who is that person. That's why
I agree with that as well, because we also have a lot of rhinos. They are Republicans in name only, but they really do not follow our ideology of smaller government, because recently this government has been turning to socialism. And this has to be stopped. It's common sense, right? If I'm making $2,000 a month, and if I keep spending $5,000, that means $3,000 is a deficit. So right now we got more than $20 trillion deficit as a federal government, and they keep promising and keep offering the things that the U.S. government cannot afford. And that means we, the taxpayers, cannot afford, because they keep raising the taxes to accommodate those projects which don't make even sense. Keep sending the money to all these third world countries without accountability, without transparency. Because I come from a country where I see a lot of corruption. The money that is being sent out there is not reaching to the deserving people.
Just like in Ukraine.
Yeah, absolutely. Why then we are spending all this money, sending all this money, when our own people here in America are struggling hard. Our veterans are homeless. Our veterans are, our seniors are struggling to pay their prescriptions. Because we need to pour that money in back here.
Very good.
Because that's what I will push for. America first, American people first.
So you believe in the Constitution?
Of course I do.
Well, some people don't.
Well, you're absolutely right. We are living in these difficult times when many people trying to, change the Constitution because they wanted to see the things that that could fit their narrative. Especially, what happened recently with Supreme Court's ruling, when Supreme Court sent back to the states, that it is state's choice, how they wanted to handle the issue of abortion. Now people are going after Supreme Court judges, attacking them, and they're attacking the Constitution.
What I'm noticing is a lot of people just don't know, and they just following the pack. There's just a lot of sheep following the wolves, and the wolves are eating us alive. So this
That's
education
right.
is necessary. Is there a department at the congressional level that could help small businesses, and what would they be?
Well, I'm a small business owner. As I was telling you earlier, that I
Yes.
run a home care agency. I'm an accountant. I have this accounting firm. I'm consultant. So, I believe that America's strength is based on small businesses. It's all about reaching out American dreams that you have, right? So small businesses play an important, a vital role in our economy. Without small businesses, this country just cannot thrive and cannot,
Thank you for saying that,
be
Aron.
prosperous.
Yes.
So I will take any measures that are possible and that are in my domain to make sure that small businesses are treated fairly. They are not taxed highly, and they are given the opportunities, the zones, the economic zones that they deserve. So I will push for any economic development, economic growth that would help the small businesses, and above all, I will cut down as many taxes as possible on the small businesses.
You can do that?
Yeah, why not? We can pass a bill where we could, take away a lot of taxes, unnecessary burden on the small business. For example, let's talk about City of Philadelphia. You pay net profit tax, you pay wage tax, right? You pay that business income receipt tax, then you pay that
Liquor tax, sales tax.
So like what is this nonsense? Like you got to run your business.
Yes.
Why are you paying like 7-8 taxes? So it doesn't have to, because all that money that we are paying is going into those ridiculous projects that are not effective, that are not working to help people. That's why I believe efficiency in the government is important. Smaller government is important, and let people be empowered.
So I'm going to visit you the day that you win, and we're going to talk about how we're going to structure this
Absolutely.
with small businesses, because we're desperate. We're losing the grounds very quickly, and we need to vote on November the 8th. I want to let people know that this channel, if you want to hear more about this, please spread this. You're going to get this on WhatsApp. You're going to see this on Facebook. If you're liking what you hear, not only what Aron is saying, but what the Small Business Union, the Business Truth Channel is putting out there, we can only grow if you spread the word. And that's basically the same thing. Let's pull some people to go to vote. Vote for who? Well, this is what the platform is about. Let's discover who these people are. And so far, Aron is saying all the beautiful things. Now, politicians, I don't see you as a politician. I see you more as a business owner. But politicians say a lot of stuff, but they don't fulfill. What's going to happen with Aron?
Well, I'm not a politician, right? And that's why I'm going to keep up my word, just like Trump. Whatever promises he made, he kept.
Very good.
He made the economy working perfectly for everyone, and that's why they're attacking him, and they still continue to attack him. So as a Christian, I believe that I need to play my positive role. As I said, I believe I'm given a task, to be the light in the world. When people are dying on the streets, I cannot stay silent. When small businesses are suffering, I cannot stay silent. When our children are lost, they are not being taught the values in the school system, I cannot stay silent. And I cannot stay silent anymore when we have beautiful people dying on the streets because of fentanyl, illegal drugs. It got to be stopped, and that's why I'm running for Congress. And I request everyone to please vote for me. Please spread the word to their family and friends so they could support me and vote for me. Because if I win, everyone wins.
If there's someone that wants to contribute to your campaign, come and volunteer, come and help.
Yes.
Where do they reach? What do they call? How do we reach you?
Well, they can call my cell phone number, as I said in the beginning. It's 215-954-7836. So let me say it one more time. 215-954-7836, and I'll personally answer your call. Or they can also visit my website, which is bashirforcongress.com. It's bashirforcongress.com. They can make their financial contributions there. And we are looking for volunteers. We need a lot of help. We need a lot of help to make calls and
Even
text
one
messages.
helps.
Yes. Even single, if you don't have to work whole day. If you can work an hour a day, 2 hours a week, 5 hours a week, we are looking for good people.
Beautiful. We're going to see if we can get you some. It's been a pleasure for you visiting the Small Business Union, and we will promote as much as possible. The opponent can come and speak with us. They can have their own podcast, and hopefully they will. This is Fernando Suarez from the Small Business Union, and we'll talk to you very soon again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless America.
God bless America. Thank you.